In what comes as a significant victory for the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, capital Damascus has been freed from the so-called Islamic State control. The troops recently cleared the remaining rockets under Islamic State control in southern Damascus. For the first time since the war began, Syria's capital city is now fully under government control. The WION's West Asia Bureau Chief Daniele Pagani has more.
It took the Syrian army weeks of intense fighting to defeat Islamic State fighters in southern Damascus. The area had been under ISIS control since 2015. The Syrian government said that on April 18th, government troops launched an offensive to retake the Al-Hajar al-Aswad district and the adjacent Palestinian refugee camps of Jarmouk.
During the last period, we surrounded the local extremists and the circle became very small as we were closing in. The combat with extremists became very short-ranged and we eventually neutralized them.
A brief ceasefire was announced on Sunday to allow women, children and elders to leave the conflict zone. The offensive took a heavy toll on Damascus' southern neighborhoods, which have widely been destroyed by artillery and airstrikes from both sides. The government says it will be a while before civilians are allowed to return. The army is combing the streets to defuse hidden explosive devices and track snipers. With the capital Damascus completely free from the ISIS control, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad is now in the strongest position since the beginning of the Syrian war. The defeat in Damascus leaves the Islamic State only in control of small pockets in the desert surrounding Deir ez-Zor on the border with Iraq. There are reports Islamic State fighters and their families are vacating their houses in the border region with Iraq. Syrian Observatory for Human Rights also claim Islamic State terrorists are destroying their arsenal before leaving. The US-led coalition force is said to be aware of the evacuation being carried out near Jarmouk and South Damascus and is monitoring the situation. The Arab Kurds Syrian Democratic Forces, with tacit support from the United States, have recently started a campaign to clear the eastern Syrian desert from the Islamic State.
Retaking control of the urban and suburban territory of the capital city is certainly a huge military success, but the Syrian government still lacks a presence and control over many territories within the country. In the northern part of Syria, Kurds are in control. In the eastern part of the Islamic State still has pockets of resistance, and the enormous province of Idlib, where 3 million people live, is totally under opposition control. So it will take time before the Syrian government will eventually rejoice for a total victory. Daniele Pagani from Amman, Jordan, for WION.